All right. Welcome. This is Salty AF Sergeant. We are back in Planet Coaster. Gonna see if we can get the project we were working on last Friday completed. We'll see if we can make this work. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not terribly good at building buildings, so this should be interesting. You guys get to watch me do very badly at building buildings, which I'm sure is going to be fun for you guys. Also, just a heads up, I do have somebody heading over to my house soon. They're not going to be here for very long, so I'll have to put it on the stream on BRB real quick. Take a quick break in the middle of the stream. But just a heads up so you guys are aware. I wanted to at least get started, because if I don't get started, I have a hard time actually getting this done if I wait until the afternoon. Alright, here we go. This is the lovely little coaster that we've been working on. It's really small and not very interesting. But you know what? I think that's okay. It's okay that our little coaster here isn't the most interesting roller coaster in the world. I'm pretty pleased with how it works. This turn, there's something funky going on with this turn, though. I feel like the exit of this helix may require a little bit more smoothing. I'll play around with it. But we also need to create some buildings. At least I think we need to create some buildings. We'll see. We'll see how this works. I want to try to make it like a mini, city. I don't know, like a little city for this thing to be cruising around in. We'll add a few buildings, try to make it look more like a populated space. See if we can make it work. We'll see. We'll see. Alright. I'm pretty happy with the streetlights, how they light things up well. We also added signs underneath the launch track, so it has almost a neon tube look going along the side of the launch, which I enjoy that quite a bit. But we need to work on, well, first readjusting some of these lights in the middle of the area because they're not lining up with the side of the road at all. But yeah, we're gonna need to actually build some buildings, which I'm really bad at. Really, really bad at that. Alright. So building. Are there like sidewalk pieces we could use? That'd be convenient. Oh well, not gonna worry too much about it. Yeah, because you got like buildings like these. Which are nice and detailed looking. I need to make buildings that are nice and detailed like this, because my buildings always end up not looking nice and detailed. Like, I can make a decent loading platform station for the roller coasters, but I'm not good at making actual, like, scenery buildings like this at all. It's not great. The key is to add some downtown style buildings like these. So actually, let's put these over here. So I have something to base off of. That's how we get better, right? We copy what's already there. At least that's how I do it. I copy what's already there and try to form my own style around it, usually. But we're going to try to use these kind of as a template to make some of our own buildings, which are probably going to be a little bit smaller than these, because this is a much smaller space. But I think we can still make this work. Interesting. All right. I gotta move my microphone a little bit. It's covering the center of the screen. Not a good thing. We don't want the microphone to be covering the center screen. Okay. Because we have, let's see, a couple different places we can add buildings, because there's obviously this gap here. My cursor and your cursor do not line up. Okay, this gap here, this is a very small gap, so we might be able to put one there. Again, like right here, very small gap, might be able to put one there. As well as possibly building something along the, some sort of structure along the brake run. Almost as, because that could almost work as like a backdrop for the whole thing. But if we add a building here, here, and back here, if you're looking from this side, you won't be able to see through it. It'll look like a small city, or the very edge of a city. So so we're gonna aim for at least 3 buildings. And actually, if we put one like over here, we could actually make the roller coaster go through a building. That could be fun. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what we can make work here. Let's see. What do we want? Where's those like boutique shop fronts? I know those are around here somewhere. We got the diners. We don't want a diner wall. Which actually we might. If I could put like a little diner over here, that could be pretty funny. Right next to the station. That wouldn't look too out of place. I think that would look good. Or just keep adding more options in here, making it increasingly difficult for me to find anything. I mean, they did make the system so you could more easily, like, you could set as some stuff as favorites. You could easily find it, but I don't have anything I usually, like, I use as a favorite. Well, there are a few things I'm thinking about. It's like, no, there are a couple things I should probably add to that grouping and use as a favorite. Oh, it looks like I've got visitors, so we're going to put this on Be Right Back, and I will be right back. All right, we are back. Apologies on the massive delay there. Um, Had some family show up to my house real quick to drop something off. They ended up staying a little longer than expected. All right. Get back to what we were doing. We were building some buildings. As buildings need to be built. For a nice little motorcycle coaster. I'm really pleased in how it turned out, but it's, yeah, it is very small. And not very interesting, so it is definitely more of a family coaster. Just like the real ones. What a surprise. Yeah, Also playing around with some new lighting, it seems to glare off my glasses a lot. I don't know if I like that. I need to get like a diffuser over here or something. I'm definitely not going to have problems with my eyes watering. I've got this light shining right into my face, so... No, we're not going to worry about the glasses for right now. Let's see. How do we want to do this? Yeah, we were looking for the boutique shop front, weren't we? Need walls. Walls. Yeah, that guy right there. Boutique shop front. Like that. There we go. Beautiful. Well, actually, hold on. Let me see if we can make this work right. Because I do want there to be like a little sidewalk space. I'm not sure how I'm going to make that work yet. We'll figure it out. Let's see. What do we have for... What do we have for... What can we use for a sidewalk? Is there something in scenery we can use? Make it look a little bit more like a actual city. I don't know if there's going to be anything in here. Be in props, wouldn't it? I think. We'll try it. We'll see how this works. If it's in here. We don't want haunted house wooden planks. Or maybe I should just find, because there's the pavement pieces I'm currently using, which I need to actually put the corner where it should be over here, but I'm not seeing any real sidewalks for this. Yeah, that might work actually. The spikes on the sides, maybe not. Maybe that won't work so well for a sidewalk. Never mind. Let's see. Let's go to building. Maybe there's like some... we can put like roof pieces down. And, like the concrete roof pieces. And just put a building on top of it, like separate. So it's like a 1 to 2 meter space there for a sidewalk. That might work. We'll try that. Or at least we'll do an experiment with it real quick here. Because yeah, it would end up being like rough concrete. Put that like right there. Well, it doesn't quite line up perfectly. But that's okay, we can still work with this. We can definitely work with this. Okay. Then if we get rid of that, done. So this building, let's duplicate this building. an advanced move. And just move it right up next to this other road over here. And make sure we get rid of the gap there. That. Beautiful. And then we just put one on the end. And we should be good. Like that. Okay, so now we have essentially our sidewalk-ish. Something that'll look like a sidewalk. No, I don't want to go to Cedar. I want to stay in building. What am I doing? Okay, let's go to walls. We want our boutique shop front. We do not want it to be part of this building, though. We want it to be separate. If we can put it like halfway down, that means that all the buildings we want then will just be 8 meters wide, which should actually work pretty well. Should. We'll see. Wait, is this two-sided? Does it matter which way this faces? I don't think it does. Well, it does a little bit. Depends on the... We'll sink that in just a little bit there. We'll put some window displays over here. Like that. Put some shop doors over here. Another shop front here. Which, actually that might not work. The roller coaster might run into that. Yeah, that's not going to work. We'll put another window display here. And that should work for us for that. And then we can add another building that won't be on the same grid, so it'll look a little off. I think that'll help things out a little bit. Okay. So then on this guy, let's get some brick wall for this. Some classic brick walls. For everything above the first floor. If I can get this to line up correctly, my goodness. There we go. And these guys, something's up with this because the wall is not lining up with the front of these, I guess. I'll have to play around with this, try to make this work a little bit better. These walls seem to be not quite aligned where they should be. Let's try this again. There we go. Better. Much better. That brings the wall in, so there shouldn't be any clipping problems with the roller coaster now too. Which is always good. You don't want your roller coaster clipping with things. Yeah, there's plenty of space now there. Beautiful. But yeah, we'll go with... How many walls high do we want this to be? 3 or 4? I think if we go with 4, so 16 meters high, that'll give it a good height. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. What do we have over here? Because again, we're trying to kind of copy this guy, or these buildings to try to give it a decent look. Because I'm really bad at making buildings. This is kind of what we're basing them on. Let's see, what do we have here? Because we have... Because our bottom floor is good. I'm not worried about bottom floor. But we do have those style windows. which is the concrete over. I don't know exactly what they're called. No, not haunted house windows. These guys. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But we can put these guys all over the outside of this building. Nope, not right on the track. That looks ridiculous. But yeah, we can put those guys along the outside. We do want to do this edging too. The edging looks pretty good. I like the way the edging on the building looks. So I haven't done much of that. So what do they actually use for this? They, concrete columns. Okay. Interesting, interesting. So if we just use concrete columns, that should work. I use plenty of concrete columns in a lot of my buildings. See if we can make this look reasonable. Might have to be a separate building because of how it looks to want to protrude so much. We can do that though. Oh, what just happened? I wanted there to be a pillar there. Not part of this building. Darn it. Just add this over here and move it to where we need it to be. That will be easier. Right there. Beautiful. Then we bring that right to the top there. Like that. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, unfortunately, we're going to need a separate building for each corner of this building because that's just how it's going to work. Let me put a back wall on here, probably using just the plain brick again. We won't be putting any windows on the back wall because that's usually how it works. Is older buildings like this will have a side that's supposed to be seen and a side that's not supposed to be seen. And the side that's not supposed to be seen usually, very rarely, has windows on them, at least from what I've seen. All right. Where are my bricks? Probably just look up brick. Really? There's nothing in walls under brick? That's thick. That's not a brick. Let's try that. That might work a little bit better. Okay, there we go. These, concrete slabs still have almost a brick look to them, though. I'm not sure how they got that look going. Interesting. Mine do not. That's okay. I know that The details are kind of... I really like the way that looks, the detail of it. Give it almost the brick look. Let me go back to this. What pieces were these again? This is just a concrete column. That's not smooth or rough concrete column. That's a different column, isn't it? Because there's a smooth concrete column, rough concrete column. There's just a regular concrete column? Yeah, there is, right there. That's the one we want. We want that concrete column. Which doesn't actually build on a grid. Okay. So this, we can just delete building 20 there. So, where did those concrete columns go? Yeah, that has a much better looking detail to it. So let's get that moved over here like that. Make sure it's relatively even as we can get it without being as precise as we probably could make it, but I'm not going to be too worried about that. All right. That looks much better. I mean, we could even go put them down there, but it kind of interferes with the door, so I don't really... I'm not sure if we really want to do that. We're going to stick them right on the top here, like that. And duplicate. Advanced move, so we don't actually have to make more of them. We just do that. And there. That comes really close to the top, which if we have any rooftop trim like this has, that should be pretty easily taken care of. So, if we take this, and this, duplicate, now I can move him over here like that. Does that look even? That looks pretty good, actually. Does look pretty even. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, and we'll add those on the back corners as well, even though there's not going to be anything on the back side of the building. We'll still add them on the back corners because they're still visible sides of the building. I know that one, they actually made it more like that, so it was almost completely flush with the sides. A little inside indented, actually. Let's try doing that. Let's try making a little indented on this side. Just like that. Beautiful. Then we'll grab these ones and do the same thing on this side. Duplicate, advance move over to this corner. Like that. Okay, wonderful. Then we also have these. What are these little square sections? That's a 2-meter concrete column, just used as nothing in particular. Okay. So we can add those as well. That shouldn't be an issue. Not sure if we're going to be adding the mid-height trim. How would that look? I'm not sure if I want that or not. But we're going to start by using the 2-meter concrete pillars, or concrete columns. Trying to make this all look correct. Correct as I can. With very little idea in what I'm actually doing here. I think this should end up looking pretty reasonable by the time we're done. Yeah, I think that'll work. You know, if I really wanted to make it look more busy, I could add the separator between each floor. But I think that might actually be too busy. Oh, hey, Cuddle Official. Glad you could join us. We're going to grab this, we're going to duplicate, advanced move, put him over in this corner as well. We're going to add a whole bunch of these guys to this building. Make it look right. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this is turning out so far. Seeing that I really don't know what I'm doing with building buildings, except just trying to almost kind of copy, but not really these buildings. Copying necessarily the style, not just a straight up copy of the building. Which actually, we need to, before we start building those little squares everywhere, we need to build a roof so we know with the roof trim so we can see exactly where those are going to be placed up on the top level. So let's get some rough concrete roof. And roof trim. Here we go. Now, I wonder if there's a way we could make this match the first floor. That'd be pretty slick. Let's try that. We're gonna try to match the first floor color. Like that. Oh, that's really nice, actually. I like how that looks. And we're still gonna have to find something to fill the corners with, because the corners look a little janky, but... What does this building use for corners? Is that 2-meter concrete pieces, it looks like? Yeah. Smooth concrete, 2-meter smooth concrete columns. With the concrete column caps on either side. Okay, let's see what we can do about that. See if we can make that work. The walls, columns. If we keep going with our concrete column here. Yeah, we've got our 2-meter column, graveyard. No, we don't want to. What type of columns could we use for this? Does it really matter? Might just stick with the concrete column. We can use a smooth concrete column like they're using, but I think we're going to stick with the regular concrete column, just because we can adjust exactly where it's sitting and keep it part of the same building. So this building ends up turning out pretty... Because this building's turning out pretty well, and I'm pretty happy with it, so I might just make this building itself a blueprint. My goodness. We cover that side, we cover that side like that. And then we go down just a little bit there. Down like that. I think that might work. Pretty happy with that. Then we just need to put caps on it, and it'll be an appropriate looking building. What do we have for column caps? Nice crypt column cap. There we go. Beautiful. Really what we need. Actually, that doesn't even look that bad, and that looks pretty good. Might need to change the color a little bit, but that's not bad. If we advance move that so it's sitting right in the corner here. The point of... It's hard to see the point because it's in the middle of that. That's not bad. I mean, the column now looks a little bit larger than it should. Then again, over here, even the columns are on the inside of the trim, so it might readjust where the column is. Help make it not look like it's sticking out so far. What other column toppers do we have that might work for this? Column bases, column toppers. Alright, now you're here. Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. We are... I'm doing an attempt at making a more detailed building for our roller coaster, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh dear, that is huge. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of basing this building off of another building that was actually a blueprint. So I have these blueprint buildings that I'm kind of basing my buildings off of, just trying to get the style down. I don't know if it's working. We'll see. This has caps on the top as well. So I think that the crypt pillar topper will actually work as the base of our corners, but we still need some like a cap to go on top. Is there like, where is it in wall decorations to find like pillar caps? I don't even know. I spend so little time doing stuff like this. I really don't know what I'm doing. No. I got a wooden post decoration. That's not what I'm looking for. No, those are weird circular ones. That's huge. Huge. Not huge, but still oddly... an odd size for what I'm looking for. Yeah, because that's not what we want. We don't want that. We do not want our vintage columns. That's huge. I mean, that one's not as bad, but again, I'm not sure if there's any way I could actually use that for this situation. I don't want to use this the same piece on the bottom as I do on the top. Because I really like how that looks on the bottom, but I don't want to use the same piece for the top. Which... actually... Stupid experiment. Let's go to another corner and play around with some other shapes and columns. So if we do that... This guy would obviously fit on the top of here without an issue. But would it also fit on the bottom? That could be an interesting corner detail up there like that. I mean, the corner still doesn't look great. I feel like there's more we could do to make this look right. Okay, we're going to leave that there for right now. And see what else we can come up with. Let's see. Really curious where that one item that the other building uses, because I'm not even seeing it in here. It's definitely a column topper, but I'm not seeing it as what it's described over here. Let me go over to this building. Hold on, let me see, what are we working with over here? The concrete column cap. Okay. That should be in buildings, because that makes sense. So if we look up on, so only concrete stuff comes up. Okay, there we go. Concrete column cap. Does look to have... Why does mine look so much bigger than theirs? Oh well. But if we color that correctly... I think is that one. Then custom move it... so it actually lines up correctly with the column. Like right there. That actually doesn't look too bad. Yes, this is the roller coaster I built in the last stream. It's nothing big or exciting. But I was trying to make it... what I'm going for with it is try to make it feel like you're riding a motorcycle around a city. Try to make it, that's what it looks like, that's what it feels like. Even though it is loosely based on the Moto coaster at Darien Lake. Because it's also very small and compact. Not unlike this one. And also very much more of a family ride, not as much of a big thrill roller coaster. I'm not even sure if you can really do inversions with this style of coaster. Because I was building this with limits off. I'm not really sure. Okay, that doesn't... That column topper actually looks pretty good on there. I think it's the wrong color, though, but we can work with that. I think this one, with the crypt pieces, I think we can, I think we're going to use that for a different building, not this one in particular, but we'll use it on, because we're going to be building a couple different buildings around this roller coaster. So we'll add it to another building. But yeah. Not a bad little ride. I would totally ride it. I mean, again, still definitely a family coaster, but still would totally ride it myself. All right. Hmm. Now we just need to recreate this little corner piece around the rest of the building. Which I'm not sure if things are aligned correctly on it to actually work like that, but we're gonna hope they are. If not, we can just turn it 90 degrees, I guess. Duplicate, advanced, move. Why is it like that? Really? There we go, thank you. Don't do that to me. Yeah, it's aligned weirdly, so we're gonna have to turn that 90 degrees. Like that. Beautiful. Beautiful. We're gonna put those in the back corners as well, and I think that'll actually be it for this building, because that's all I really wanted to do. I didn't want to add the separators between the floors like they are on the other buildings. I'm pretty pleased with how that works. Now the trick comes, because that was the easy location to build a building. The tricky part is trying to figure out where else we can build a building on this. I know I was thinking about putting one like right over here, but that's a really small space for trying to build a building. There's still more space here though we can work with, but I'm not sure how the roller coaster's movement through there is going to affect that. We might need to indent it a little bit more. Have it be a separate building, I guess. We'll see if we can make it work though. Okay, let's see. Let's get that again. Okay, that corner's right in the corner. That's what we needed. Duplicate, advanced, move. We need you to move over here. And to spin 90 degrees this way. Actually, this is going to be weird because it's not going to go right in the corner like the other two. So we're going to have to make some adjustments because that'll go there. But this guy on the bottom is no longer right in the corner where we wanted it to be. So let's make some adjustments. That will have to be over here and there. Okay, so that's correct. But now it looks really weird. I don't like how that looks. Better yet, let's just take these and move them out. We'll try this. We'll try moving these guys out so they're actually lined up where they should be, like the other ones. Hard to see. So I gotta zoom out really far to move it, and... goodness. This has gotta be so difficult. Okay, that's correct. Then we'll do the same on this one as well. We'll move this one out a little bit. Then we can get back to adding the little squares on the walls to make it look like it's properly supported and everything. all that fun stuff. Okay. Then we just need to copy this one more time. And throw it into this corner. And I'm thinking this is one of the taller buildings I'm going to be adding to this. I don't think I'm going to be adding many buildings taller than that. I might be adding another building the same height, but yeah, I'm going to be trying for maybe a 3-story building. Again, maybe I'm thinking about throwing a diner over in this area, as a 1-story building. Maybe like a 3-story building in this back corner here. That might work. That would help even things out a little bit for the skyline, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. All right. What do we have to do? We need to add more of these squares. These nice little squares everywhere. It was good to add a little bit of detail, I guess. There, and move that one into position. Have it offset just a little bit from the depth of the other ones, just so you can clearly see that it's a separate piece and not the same piece. At least that's my reasoning behind it. Does it actually work that way? I have no idea. Probably not. Actually, how do I get my other camera? Is that T? Yeah, there we go. Much easier to use camera. Okay. Yeah, that building's actually coming out pretty well. I'm really quite happy with this. We still need to, yeah, we still need to create more buildings though. Yeah, I gotta finish this before I start worrying about anything else. I'm gonna sit here and start inserting myself with where the other buildings are gonna go. And it really doesn't matter because this building's not complete yet. Alright, we have there, and then the top. On the back wall, we are not adding these. I might along the top, but I'm not along the bottom because there's going to be another building there anyways. So I don't need to add more pieces where they're not really needed. Yeah, because even on these ones, they don't have that sort of, those little detail pieces in the corners. They're just not needed. They're only really used on the front of the building. So as the visible sides of the building, visible I guess, because the backside will still be somewhat visible. We'll add like an AC unit or two on the back there. Here, were those in scenery, I think? Or are they in building? I don't remember. That might be in building. Yeah, I think they are. There's some things in buildings that should be in sceneries, and some things in sceneries that should be in buildings. I don't really understand. There we go. Now we have AC in our building. Because one of these buildings actually had a, what was it? They had like a fire escape along the back, and that would be pretty cool to add. That'd be a cool little detail item. We'll see. We'll see how we feel about it. Also, I'm not sure if you can make versions of this window that are lit. That would be convenient, because then during nighttime you'll have some lit windows through the whole thing. Because right now... Yeah, right now none of the windows are lit. On either one. So I'm not sure if there's a lit version of that window. Let's see. Because that would be pretty cool. Pretty great if there was. Windows... Because that's just this guy, a wooden window with the arch with the stone sill. I'm not sure if there are lit versions of that. Or how to really make a lit version. I know the haunted house windows... Yeah, I think the haunted house ones you can get lit. I don't think the normal windows have lit variants. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Oh well, that's fine. It would have been cool, but I think we'll get over it. We'll still have the street lights and whatnot to try to... We might add some lights inside the shop as well, because these are windows going into the actual shop space here. So if we add like some lights in here, those windows will be lit up. We'll see what we can do. Same with the diner, because if I add like a little diner building that has actual windows you can see through, and we can make those lit as well. I feel like that can work pretty well. Alright, so now we are more or less done with that building. Until I think of something else that I want to add to it. Let's see, what are we... We need to build another building. Probably here. It needs to be moved over just a little bit from this one. Due to where the roller coaster is. So we might make this one like a 2-story building. Maybe 8 wide again. But yeah, it's going to be a little odd. A little odd shaped because of where the roller coaster is. You might be able to change the location of or move the roller coaster a little bit to try to make it work, but I don't know how much I want to play around with that, seeing how much I played around with the roller coaster to try to make the lateral G-forces go away and all that fun stuff. I did not plan this well. I didn't really know what I was doing, though. Maybe I should start planning things before I start just building. That'd probably be for the best. Let's see. So we don't want to do that base, the same wall we used over here. What are these ones? Those ones look like they're using the classic brick as well, with a stucco second floor. We might be able to try something like that. So let's try. We look up brick. Now the problem with this, because it will be slightly, because that building is 8 meters wide, this building will be slightly less than 8 meters wide, so it's going to cause some issues with the wall on this side, unless we find a way to hide it, essentially. Let's see. We don't want rough brick, modern brick. We want classic brick. We don't want it to add it to that building, so we'll just put that there. No, no, no. Put it there, and then be done with building 2, and then advance to move building 2. So we can have building 2 exactly where we need it to be. May change the color of the bricks a little bit to help differentiate the buildings as well. That may help. But yeah, hopefully we can make this work. Alright, so edit building. Need you. Let's get our grid size down to 1 meter. That way we should be able to move it inward by 1 meter here. Like that. This is going to be a real hassle trying to get everything to line up correctly on this. But it should work. It moves out of the way enough that the roller coaster isn't going to clip it or anything. Same with over here. It's not going to be clipping the roller coaster on this side. We may try making like an angled wall on this one to try to fill in the space as much as we can. If we're doing that, let's see. Well, actually, before I do that, let me change the color of this a little bit so we don't have. Let's see. Nope, nope. That might work. I don't know. If we modify the odd bricks so they just a slightly different color. I guess I am not good with colors at all. I'm way too colorblind for this nonsense. You just do it painted like they painted the bricks black, and if you don't put them like just straight black, yeah, like that, then that adds a little bit of inconsistency to it. That can work. I'm pretty pleased with that. We can make this work. Okay, then if we duplicate this guy... we put one there, and... there. We can put any more walls here without clipping. Or how far can we go before it starts to clip? Because that gets really, really close. I think that might be too close. Which, I mean, is really cool and fun and all for the roller coaster to be that close to the building, but that might be a little too close. See if it clips it at all, because I feel like that might be clipping. That might end up clipping. We might have to bring that in like a meter. Ooh, it doesn't clip. But we're gonna bring it in a meter anyways, because I'm still uncomfortable with that. That's too close. That's better. Okay. So I think this should end up pretty good looking when we're done. All right, so we have that guy. Are we doing any more brick walls for this particular building? Because we have to have an angled wall here, but that'll have to be a separate building entirely. Then we'll have to add something in the borders. Which actually, if we're doing the angled walls, those pillars might actually work really well for this because they're round and not square, so you don't have to worry about like hard edges anywhere. So that might work really well for this building. I think that's what we're going to do. But we also need to actually build this angled wall here. We're going to see how well this works. Let's see, so let's put that there. And that guy there. It might behoove us to make that like another meter less, so we can make the walls actually line up. And of course it's not going to let me do that. So we do this, grid size 1 meter. We move you on 1 meters now. Yes, okay. So if we move him over 2 meters, so now that's a 10-meter wall. We can then move this 8-meter wall here. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. We want to take building 22 and advance move building 22. With the right edge piece, I think we can actually make this work. Or with the right trim. Then we should be able to make this, because I'm planning on making this a 2-story building, and we'll add a separator from the first floor to the second floor. Well, some windows on the second floor, maybe some doors on the first floor. And back here, we'll make this like a back alleyway. We'll put like a couple trash bins back here or something. But if we're doing that, let's take this guy and make sure we can have concrete for the base of our back alleyway. There we go. Okay. Let's build this building up. Duplicate. Darn it. I gotta do this again. So you build a new piece with 1 meter intervals. Then you can delete that and then move your other pieces at 1 meter intervals. And we can edit this building. This is going to be difficult trying to do this with 2 separate buildings. Really most important, well, the most important part of this nonsense, though, is making sure that we have some sort of trim piece that goes here that'll cover up that gap. So, let's check that out real quick, see what we can do. I know we were looking at putting a column, possibly the crypt pillar. Let's put you there. And advanced move. Which that might work. Yeah, maybe. We're going to have to move this wall in a little bit, but I think it can work. Then if we build another one over on this corner of the building. You can just put that right on the end there like that. And there might be like a little lip here, but I think we can still work with that. I'm pretty pleased with how that looks. So for building 2, we're going to say done. Yeah, building 22. Let's take building 22, advanced move building 22, world axis, and just move them a little bit this way. Right there. Everything is inside that piece there. We have a little bit of a lip there, but that's okay, because we have the decorative end cap, essentially, that will help it look more reasonable. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how that looks. We're still gonna have to figure something out to do with the roof, though, but I'm not sure how we're gonna sort the roof. That's gonna be a mess. We're gonna just have to use the basic shapes to make a roof for this thing, because I have no idea how we're gonna fill in this corner. Oh well, we'll figure it out. So let's edit this building. Like, what do we have for starters? Let's see what we have. If we add like just the black concrete roof, we should be able to add just black shapes to fill in the gap. We take you, we make you, let's see. We cannot color the rough concrete. Where's the smooth concrete? Smooth concrete, we can color the smooth concrete. Color the smooth concrete black. Then edit this building. And add one here, but I'm not sure, we won't be able to add one here without overlapping weirdly. We want to avoid the weird overlaps. I say I'm trying to avoid weird overlaps, and here I am building a building that is so wrong for that. Okay, we need to rotate this because I messed up. Okay, let's try that. Building is now rotated. Edit building, and now we should be able to put the roof on the inside instead of the outside of the building. Okay, what is going on here? Yeah, I want the roof to be there. Now this corner is going to be funky, but I think we can work with it. And again, I will need to add some custom supports as well, because there aren't any supports for like this piece of the high piece of the track going through here. But because of the buildings, I'm thinking we might be able to add the supports directly to the buildings, so the track is being supported by the buildings, which should make our lives a little bit easier, because once we put in the buildings, we can just plop a piece like right here, connecting to this roof, and pop a piece over here connecting to, I don't know, the building that's going to be over here maybe, if we have one over there. We'll see how it works. We'll see if we can make it all work. And this we're going to align up with the bottom of the roof. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing with for roof trim yet. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Those are a different color? No, it's just because it's see-through. It's the same color. There we go. I see what's going on. Okay. That's not too bad. We do need to sort out this roof, though. I really don't want to have to try to sort this out, but I'm going to have to try to sort. Where was it? Scenery for the generic item shapes. Let's see. Maybe it wasn't building. No, it's... Well, we have our colorable lit panels. Not what I'm looking for. Maybe they're not in here. Maybe they are in there. Building. But I don't think that they're attached to any, grid. So I don't see why it would necessarily be in buildings. Actually, a lot of this stuff I don't understand why it's in the building section. But whatever. Here we are. Yeah, it has to be in the scenery area. So we're looking at all props. We have nature, special effects, displays, art shapes. That's what we wanted. Generic art shapes. I'm not sure if anything in here is actually going to work the way I want it to. I guess we'll find out. I'm thinking this is what we... I mean, I don't want a small. Or like a medium one? No. There's a medium one, but that starts getting too thick. I don't want it to be thick, I just want it to get bigger. Now, of course, it's going to be the wrong angle anyways. So let's go with these extra small ones. We'll color it black, or really dark gray, so it kind of blends in. Yeah, that's the same color. We'll just advance move these into position to fill in the space of roof that would be here, that is not. But we need a whole bunch of these guys. This isn't going to be... not going to be great. But I feel like it'll work. We're still going to be adding trim pieces to the top of this, so it doesn't really matter too much. Duplicate, advance, move. Okay, whatever. I have to individually place all of these so they're roughly correct. It's gonna be painful. You know what? No, I'm gonna get bigger ones. This is ridiculous. We'll fill in as we need. The bigger one will certainly help fill in more space. There we go. Make it nice and even with the top of the roof there. To bring it out just a little bit, not to come through the wall. Like that. Better. Rotate it and bring it to the other wall like that. Beautiful. We just need to fill in this gap over here. We can do that by rotating this in right there. Let's move this a little bit that way. There we go. We can still make this work. Just add something on the corner here so I won't have to worry about it. Can't do that though. I feel like that's wrong. Okay, didn't really mean to duplicate that one. I have to delete that. Wrong one. There we go. Need to be able to access all three axes here. Wrong one, we didn't want that. That's the one we wanted, there we go. Rotate. Come over here to fill in the rest of this gap here. We should be good. Delete that. Okay. Yeah, we'll find something to fill in that corner, so we won't have to worry about it. And maybe find something else to put on the roof there so it doesn't look so weird and out of place in that corner. We'll also need to add doors, windows, any other trimming to it. Okay, we're getting there. Actually, as much as I like the look of the crypt trim here, I think it's a little small because I really need it to cover up, go on each side of the wall here. So we're gonna try a different trim for the corners here. Oh dear, we need to get rid of that. There we go. Let's see what other columns or whatever we have here. Yeah, that might actually work. Let's see, unless we have other... We have the 8-meter concrete columns, which obviously those will work because we use them on the other building. We're trying to mix it up a little bit, so I don't want to use the same columns. Painted wood plank. No. Wood column 8, no. Stucco pillars. Put a base on the bottom, put a stucco pillar on there. Boom. That actually might work pretty well. We could probably do that. That could be easy enough. Let's do that. Let's try that. Lead you. We'll move you. You're nice and even on both sides of this wall. And move you in. Like that. And we'll put a pillar on top of you. Like that. No, no, what is going on here? No, delete. That way we completely hide the fact that the wall is wonky. Okay. And we could probably do something similar over here, because it's definitely going to be wide enough to fill in the gap here. Control, duplicate, advanced move. Like that. Beautiful. And as long as it's not sticking out too far, we still won't have any clipping problems. Which, how far is it sticking out compared to this one? That's actually about right, so we'll hold on to that like that. Okay. I think that works. We need to come up with some toppers for them, though, and do some trim along the roof. What do we have? We still got to figure that stuff out. Roof trims. What do we have for roof trims? That's just flat roofs. We want roof trims. There we go. I think we use the brownstone on these ones. We'll try using something else that's not just the brownstone one. Except that might be the only reasonable looking one for what we're trying to do. That is just ridiculously huge. We don't want that. Yeah, we don't want that either. It's going to be impossible to try to get those to line up going around the corners that we have. I mean, it's going to be hard enough as it is. Find something that'll line up going around the corners. Let us see. I don't know exactly what I'm looking at here. Okay. Okay, I think I see what that is. That's not what we want, though. We don't want that. We might just continue with the brownstone trim, and add something else to it to try to make it look a little less repetitive. Not repetitive with the, so it's not repetitive with the other building. That's not going to work there because that's not a roof piece. So duplicate an advanced move. Put that right there. Beautiful. Okay, then we need one over here, and we're going to have to duplicate advanced move it to that side as well. So there, and duplicate advanced move. Over here. Yeah, now if we get some really big toppers for these pillars, that should fix this gap problem that we're having over here. So let's see what... Also, by we change the colors of these, that'll also help. Yeah, I've got a couple different ideas on how we can mix these guys up. I'll see if we can make any of them actually work. That's doesn't seem to want to attach to anything really. Flat stone roof molding. That actually might work. Mixed up a little bit. So if we take you, well, actually, let's try that again. So if we take this, not roof molding flat. What piece was this? Stone. There we go. We move these guys all around. That should help with the making it look a little bit different. We're not going to be leaving them here. We're going to be moving up to right underneath the roof. Actually, we can grab those ones and these ones at the same time. Move them all up together. Oh joy. Which will help differentiate the two as well. Should help anyways. Put them like right there so they're still visible from the sides. That should work. And then we just need to change where these ones are. And hope that they line up about right. That looks good. We'll need to find a good topper to cover up these corners. But we'll get there. Let's go to walls. Okay. Now what type of toppers do we have for these pillars? Because these are just the stucco pillars. We have bases, we have these caps. And not big enough. We're gonna need something really big. Again, not big enough, because this is gonna be just stupid how things are lining up on the top here. Actually, that could work. It's gonna look a little funny, but it'll work. That covers up all of our mistakes that we don't want to look at. And then we can lower it down a little bit. So it covers all the roof trim there. We just have to make sure it's even. Because it's not right now at all. Not even, just make sure it's even enough and it covers up all our gaps in our roof trim. That's really what we need here. How low is this one? This one is coming right underneath the roof trim. Let's try making... Come on, camera, work with me here. Put this one right underneath the roof trim. Try to even it out a little bit. That. Boom. And that covers most of our mistakes. That's going to have to move over just a little bit, just because of how it's interacting with the other piece. Okay, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now we just need to add windows and doors, and that building will look done. Then we can move on to our diner. So I haven't used any of the diner pieces yet. I want to use those, which will probably actually be attached directly to the station building over here, because it has to be fairly low along the street here. So because the roller coaster is going over the top of it there, so I figured a diner would be a pretty safe bet. But yeah, that one's going to be easy because we can just attach that directly to the station without any issues. Okay. Let us find some windows and doors to add to this, and we'll be good to go. Let's try. What did we do over here? What did they do? They used a similar style doors and windows. I'm thinking of using the style door or the style window. Maybe a door similar to that. We'll see. See if I can find something that all mostly matches. Yeah, because these windows, I like the way these windows look. We can do that. We can add a couple in the little back alley as well. But there's not going to be anything on the ground floor in the back alley. Okay, so doors. What are we looking at for doors? Oh, how nice there'd be a doorbell noise when you hit that. That could actually work really well. Put that there, put another window there. And then put a door on this side as well. I mean, we're going to have to readjust the height of the doors. But I think that'll work. Let's grab both of those, adjust the height so they're sitting right on the ground. Well, on our sidewalk that we essentially created. And let's get a couple more of those windows for the ground floor. Look how that looks. Which ones were those? These guys? Yeah. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. I'm pretty pleased with that. Done. No, not building 15. Okay, beautiful. So let's see what else we can add, because we wanted to add a diner to this as well. Like just a small remnants of a diner, because it's going to be mostly attached to this building. But it'll be fine. Alright, walls. More filters. We want content pack, World's Fair. Yes. I think that's where the diner stuff is World's Fair stuff. That was determined as like the American wall set, I guess. Yeah, these guys. Yeah, this is pretty much just going to be attached directly to the station. We'll add our little sidewalk space on the side of this as well. Maybe add some street lights over here. That should work. Let's see how... Let's get some plain walls in here, see how far we can go with this. Where's our diner door? Not that wall. That wall. And then the corner piece. Boom. Oh, that lines up like perfectly. That's nice. Alright, and then where is the diner roof pieces? Flat roofs. Curved diner roofs. Diner roof decoration. Diner roof decoration, I guess. Diner drive-through end. No, we want just regular diner roofs. We're gonna decrease the height of them just a little bit so that they don't interfere with the windows of the station here. Like that. Oh, welcome back, Cuddle. Alright, so now we have... Well, let's add our sidewalk pieces to this as well. We need rough concrete, flat roofs. Well, let's get rid of that. That's what we're essentially using for our sidewalks. Does not look like it's going to line up quite right. Of course not. We'll have to make a new one. So then this building here, we need to advanced move, put it right in the corner here of the road. So we can have a sidewalk space. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. We wanted to edit, then duplicate. That. There we go. Better. Much better. Okay. So with the diner, we'll probably have to add actual doors. We'll definitely be adding some lights inside so we can have some nighttime stuff going on. Because right now, at night, it's not great. I mean, the diner is helping. It's helped a lot with the nighttime stuff, with those neon tubes on the top. But yeah, we're gonna need some more lighting for nighttime. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I did. I usually build... I see, my problem is I build a lot of stations very similar to this. I have a hard time deviating from this general look. But I can like do some variants to it, but it's not... Because even when I go over to like... Because looking at this one, you move over to like this station, it's still very similar. It's a similar build style. But yeah. Oh yeah, the Route 66 diners, great, love them. I haven't actually gone to one in a while. I'm trying to think where there is one, because I know I know I've seen them around, and I think there's one nearby where I am. I'm not sure if... Where is Route 66? Where does that start? That starts in Chicago, doesn't it? I don't know. I'd have to look at it. But yeah, no. Because sometimes you'll see like small diners like this in like almost downtown settings, which is kind of what I'm going for. Have this little downtown area. Okay. We need to put some doors on here because this building does not actually come with doors. And we're probably going to have to put a floor in here as well. Let's do that. I want this building. What is going on here? Okay. Oh, they want to go sit on the... What the heck? That is not what I wanted at all. Okay, this is just not gonna... Yeah, me and this this placement of the floors are... We're gonna have some arguments here. I think I figured out how to make this work, though. Hopefully. There we go. Yeah, pretty much. Gotta get good at English. Then you gotta, yeah, not speaking for that language for 4 months. I can understand that being a difficulty. Interesting. Then again, I don't know any other languages, so I'm not a good example. It's like I know some words here and there. Due to my time in the military, I know a bunch of words that you shouldn't know in other languages. But that's about all I know of different languages. See, I don't know. English is difficult to a degree just because of like the spelling of words and the pronunciation, because everything's wrong. But I don't know. I have from the little bits I know from German, it's not that bad. And it's like I don't even know German, but a lot of the words in German are similar enough to English words where if I'm hearing someone that's German speaking, I can usually figure out roughly what they're talking about. Like, probably. Yeah, probably is a stupid word. I'll agree with that. Especially when you start getting into... It's really weird, because you'll start getting into, like, words that have silent letters for no good reason. Hate that. It's like, just randomly. It's like, oh, this word has a silent Q. It's, what? Why? No. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no. But because of all... It's like, English is really my only language, and I also struggle with English. I'm not even that good at it. I have a pretty hard time with it, honestly. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're building some doors over here. We also probably should put, like, some benches in here to give it a little bit of an interior. So when we put lights on the inside, it should look really cool. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to do that before I forget. We need doors. Doors on the front. And diner doors. And we need some, like, benches on the inside. Some, like, tables and benches. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll do. Have a good day. Have a fun time with trying to reteach yourself English in a very short period of time. All right. Path extras. Can we use any of the pre-made benches for this? Because that would be really convenient. I'm going to assume we can't. Just hoping maybe there's a chance. The sci-fi picnic table looks like it could almost work, but it doesn't really look like... It doesn't look right. I don't know. Vintage bench. See, that's almost looks right, but it's, at the same time, it's way too big. I can throw some picnic tables in here, it'll be fine. Which actually, I think, yeah, the picnic tables and everything need to be put on pathways anyways, so that's not going to work for this regardless. Okay, so we need to find something to use as a table that isn't a table. Great. Just wonderful. See if we can find something in here that works. Because diners usually have a very specific look to the tables and everything that's inside as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to replicate that. Hmm. Yeah, seeing that we can't put normal picnic tables down here, that does make things complicated. I was really, really hoping for that one. And we have a lowrider car for our diner as well. Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to add him to the scene too, because I like the looks of that car as well. Yeah, we're not going to worry about this right now. We'll come back. If I want to worry about adding an interior to a building, I'll come back, because I haven't done any building interiors up until now. I really don't know how to do that sort of stuff. I'm really, really bad at that. Okay, so our next building. What are we going to do for our next building? I've got a rough idea what I want to do. Because this area is supposed to be like a back alleyway, and I do want to put a building here. But the problem is how much track there is in the way. Like, we could do a low building here, like a one-story, but I don't want to do a one-story. I want to keep it at 2 stories or above, because it's supposed to look like almost a downtown of a town/city area. That's what I'd really like to go for with this, so we'll see. But yeah, we might still be adding another 3-story building in the back corner here. So here, I'm thinking a 2-story building would be good, a 2 to 3-story building. Especially if we had the track go inside the building, we can make that work pretty well. Or maybe. We'll have to do a lot more work trying to make it look right. And putting way too much time into trying to make these buildings look reasonable. Which I'm not unhappy with them. They do look pretty decent. But still. Let's see. It'd be really cool if we could add another angled wall here, so it's a very tight corridor that the roller coaster is going through. Then have the roller coaster be going through the building, like entering on the first floor and exiting on the second floor on this hill. That could be pretty slick. As long as we make it detailed, like the walls and everything detailed enough, I think the fact that there's going to be a large gap in the wall for the roller coaster to go through might not look totally wrong. I think we can still make this work. On top of that, I don't really want anything, because I think how we're going right now, they're still not going to be touching this building, which is what I want. I want to keep this building separate, because that's part of the functionality of the roller coaster. Because in hydraulic launch roller coasters like this, you'll always have a essentially like a building or a structure at the end of the launch to hold all the launch mechanisms, because there is quite a lot there, all the hydraulics, which is kind of why I made it look like the hydraulic line is going into it, or not the hydraulic line, but the cable for the hydraulic launch. Actually, you know what I should do with this before I forget? Let's move this to 2 trains. Block sections, 2 trains. There we go. Beautiful. That way I won't forget to do that. But yeah, I'm really happy how this is turning out. Even if we wanted to add like a building over here with the helix too. Because this building, because that would end up being... We could probably do that, a 2-story building here. Without too many issues. We might need to readjust the turn going on top of it a little bit. But I feel like we put a 2-story building in here and have half of the helix inside the 2-story building. That could actually be really fun. But yeah, no planning has gone into this at all. I'm like just building as I go. Which of course makes everything look a little bit more organic. But at the same time, this would have been a lot easier if I actually planned to be doing this with this roller coaster when I built it. Then I could have built the buildings around the roller coaster at the same time, which made things a lot simpler. But at the same time, doing it this way has allowed the buildings to be a little bit more random. I wouldn't have these weird angles on the buildings and these weird sizes of buildings if I built the roller coaster to this. I don't know what to do for our next building. We could just go brick again. I have to find something else for a storefront. Actually, let's see what they have for blueprints, see what else we can rip off of here. This guy has the stucco front, it looks like. That's not too bad. We might do something more similar to that. What other buildings do we have? Because we have that, we have this alley scene. And those are very similar to these buildings as well. They look like older city buildings. You got this guy, let's see. I'll place a couple of these guys around to try to get some inspiration to see what I'm doing. This corner store actually looks really good. That's pretty slick. I don't really necessarily want the shops in there. But a lot of the little detail stuff looks really good on this. We're gonna hold on to this guy. We're gonna build that guy as well. We have generic downtown buildings. Beautiful, beautiful. Pay no attention to the fact that I'm just building a bunch of random buildings over here to try to get an idea what I'm doing. Most of these actually all of these buildings are going to be destroyed by the time I'm done. Oh, I do like that one. That looks like a good one too. I mean, it has a bunch of shops in it, so I can replace those with other things. But that building is fairly basic looking, and I think it could work well with our current style that we're going for. And it has a different style of top as well. I'm kind of curious on how they built this. Those individual pillars? Yeah. Individual pillars and the roof molding. Okay, interesting, interesting. And those are roof molding squares. Hmm. Yeah, we'll have to build a building based on this one then. Because I like that one. So I like that one, and I like this general store as well, but the... I like a lot of the detail on the general store. The actual building itself is pretty mediocre, all things considering. I do want to add like a fire escape to one of these buildings, because I do like the looks of the fire escape. Like maybe in this back alleyway, the other building over here, we'll add a fire escape to the back of that building. Or actually, let's see. If we grab this... Where even are the fire escape things? Are they in the building sections? Or would that be, look up fire. Yeah, fire escape. There we go. About 6. If I just put this guy, like, right here... We have a fire escape for... I know it's a little silly to have it right there like that, but... It would work better if we had a third floor, honestly, because that would look a lot better. But yeah, we could probably actually make a fire escape out in the back corner here. Let's say we wanted to add... Nope, nope, stop that. Add you here. And put you up at the roof level. Oh, no. Stop that. Yeah, because I don't think that'll work on this building. But if we build a 3-story building here, I think that would work really well on that. In this back alley space, we could put a fire escape there. Because I really like the detail that those give. But yeah, throw like a couple trash bins, a couple trash bags in the back alley space with a fire escape. I think that'll really give the detail there that I'm looking for. Okay, let's see if we can try to build a building here that will allow a roller coaster to go through it. It's probably going to be another 2-wide building, because I'm not sure if there's no space for a 3-wide, especially with how this roller coaster is coming in here. But I think a 2-wide building should be all we'll really need. So, let us start with some walls. What are we really trying to copy here? Because this one has these funny colored walls at the bottom. What are these? Those are stucco walls. We'll do a bottom floor stucco walls. I'm probably pronouncing that all wrong. Pronouncing it as it looks. All right. We got our stucco wall here. But we don't want that. We want this to be its own individual building. We do want it, however, to be at the same angle that this wall is at, which I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get it there. That doesn't look like it. We want this alleyway to be as claustrophobic as possible. That's really what I'm aiming for. So if you do something like that. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to add to that building. Then again, hold on. I might be able to add it to this building. This grid, so it'll be able to stay on the same angle, just moved over. That might work. Let's get this down to 1 meter. Like that. See if we can make this actually work at all. It does not want to go where the roller coaster is. I guess is not a bad thing. That's where I want it to go. This might cause some problems. If I put it there, it looks like it's definitely going to be clipping. Yeah, it clips that wall hardcore. Okay, stupid experiment. Get rid of that, let's get rid of that. This building, we want to build based on the grid of this building. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start by building walls here, so we know roughly how where we're basing this off of. And is that correct? Yes, it is. Okay. Which we're not actually making it too wide like that. It's going to be different. Because we're adding the funky angles here. So with this building, let's add a stucco wall to this building. Because now, if we add that there like that, that means we'll have a flat space for the wall for it to go through. We'll have to decrease the height of the wall just a little bit. The track, but I think that could actually work really well. But we will have a very large gap here, which we can address. We can address that. I feel like we can fix that. We can add a little something here. If we go to 2 meters, like that. How can we do this? If we have the wall like that, that gives us much more confined space over here through the alleyway. And that may actually work. I mean, it's going to give us a really small sidewalk here next to the building. But I think that still works. So if we get rid of these walls here, that we may just need to make this a separate building, but I think that this general idea should work pretty well for this. That should fill it out pretty well. Fill in the space, and we'll have enough space for a fire escape in our alleyway here. Okay, so I know what we're doing now. We just need to make it part of a separate building, because it's not going to work as part of that building. Let's see. So we're going to start with this guy. Oh, no. Done with this building. Like this. That's how we're doing this. Just like that. Boom. I have a gap for the track. Which we can still build up a little bit on the bottom if we need to, which we probably will. Let's try. Would we have 2-meter high wall in here? Yeah, 2-meter wall. Then if you get your 1-meter walls, put them like that, so there's a little less gap underneath than in the track, but there's still gap between it and the track. Don't want it to be such a big gap that it's just ridiculous. Alright. Now the real fun of trying to build this box on the edge of this, we're going to go to 2-meter square. Where is our 4-meter walls? There we go. Spin that around, spin that around. Perfect. Now with this, you take this building now. Now the way we did this, I did this corner, it looks like I almost won't even... Well, actually, hold on. Let's see if we can make this work. We can take you... We're going to advance move this whole building so we don't even have to worry about this corner here. So this corner is just going to work. So we don't need to have an edge piece here. Just like that. Beautiful. Alright, and then this building. This one, we need those stucco walls again. STU, CCO, let's just have that in here. We should. We'll select you. Select that, select that. Actually, that'd still be 4 meters. So if this is here, so that's the line for that wall. So we're gonna be building off of the same wall essentially. That. And even though it overlaps a little bit in there, it's within it, so we don't have to worry about it too much. So that means pretty much all of our corners for this building, we won't need edges. We can add edges, but they're not necessary, which does make me a happy person. It means we don't have mistakes to hide, because there aren't really any mistakes. And why it wants to work weirdly here is beyond me. Look, just... No, it wants to line up with that. the ground. That's a problem. You need to bring it up, move it over, and bring it down there. That. Beautiful. And that comes right to the edge there. That's where the building is going to end, is right there. So it's actually going to come through this building twice. Once this direction and once directly after the launch. It'll be going in on close to the 3rd floor the first time it goes through. And then the first time it's going in on the 2nd floor. Coming out on between the 2nd and 3rd floors. So they're trying to make essentially tunnels inside of this building. Should be interesting. We'll see if we can make it work. Should be able to. Alright, so this is going to be building number 4. It's going to be 3 floors. Actually, could we build a 2? Yeah, we might be able to build a 2-story building over. I'm still thinking about building a 2-story building here to hold half of the helix. I feel like that could actually work really well, and that could fill out this space back here a little bit better. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes, though. I'm feeling pretty happy about that decision. What else is this building made out of? We got stucco, we got... What is that, modern brick? Okay, so we'll use modern brick on the 2nd and 3rd floors of this building, then. So if that's the stucco walls we're going to be using... No, come on. Work with me. There we go. So we can get some modern brick. Well, that's not modern brick, is it? That's probably just classic brick, isn't it? We do have glass walls as well. I'm not sure how well that's going to work for what we're going for, though, with the gaps in the walls. I don't feel like that's going to work well. I think we're still going to stick with the modern brick. We need to get this set back to 2 meters. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, because how the track is angled, it should still be, it's going sideways, so we shouldn't have to build the roof very much higher above it to make it work with the tunnel, essentially, that I'm creating there. Okay, then we do need one of these. Is there a better one? There it is. That's what I was looking for. Beautiful. Which again, we can adjust the height of that if it's too high, with more of the 1 meter walls. Then we have this one. Again, we need to change this to... We're actually changing this one to 1 meter because I don't know how well this one's lined up here. That might actually not work there. I have to bring that over a little bit, bring this one over a little bit. But I still don't want it to clip. That is really close, so we might just leave it there. and bring the base up a little bit. Do we have a 1 meter high wall? Yeah. Like that. That can work. Beautiful. Beautiful. And the actual building of this building is going to be a complete mess. I'm just saying that right now. The actual structure and, like, the sizing of everything for this building is going to be awful. That may actually be too low. We know. Okay, there we go. Better. Goes through there without any incidents. And let's get this other one sorted out. Okay, that's not going to work. Good 2 meter wall. 2 meter wall I think is going to work well there. 4 meter walls for the backside here. Alright, now to try to figure out how to make this one work. This is going to be a little tricky. Fortunately, this isn't anything like the, which one was it? The haunted house that just really wants to not line up pattern-wise. There we go, that should actually work really well. I'm quite pleased. We will need a different, like a 2 meter wide wall through here though, which fortunately, we can make that work. Boom, beautiful. Let me just make sure that that's not clipping anything, and it's not. That is beautiful, right there. We can even put that one there, so we can cover up the funny angles on the outside wall there. But yeah, we're gonna have to add quite a bit of detail to this on the base floor, and possibly even have some interior walls to this to make sure that this actually looks reasonable with the roller coaster going through it as it is. But yeah, there's definitely no more than enough space here so we can add the fire escape like I wanted to on the back. You get that little extra detail in the back alleyway, in the alley between the buildings. Okay, let's get this these walls finished up here. Like that. Now that does look good. Liking the way this is looking right now. But yeah, we'll just need to add some roof trim, which I'm not sure how we're going to do that. It's going to be a little complicated with this one. And make sure that the bottom floor is decorated well. We can add some windows to this tower here. And maybe around the rest of the building as well. Like a couple windows here and up here. Just to try to make it look like it's an actual building and not a structure solely for going through with the roller coaster. But it does look like we're going to have to recreate our corner piece here, unfortunately. Maybe I'll just copy and paste the corner up here, because it's going to be a lot easier just to copy it than try to recreate the whole thing. And it looks like that building is actually slightly a different height, which may cause some issues. Maybe. We'll see. See how it goes. Because I'll have to add some type of centerpiece in the transitions to try to hide any weirdness that happens on the wall toppers. Okay, because I'm anxious to do this. I do want to add this the fire escape here before I forget. Add these windows around. Does these look reasonable? We probably won't have any on this face because there's so much gapping happening because of the roller coaster. But that's okay. We can still work with this. So if we go to all and look up fire escape. Fire escapes. We're just going to straight up build it here. And then adjust the height. To match the windows. Instead of trying to adjust the height first. We do that to match the windows like that. Boom. We now have what looks to be a functioning fire escape. Beautiful. I mean, technically to be fully functioning, that ladder should not be touching the ground. But I'm okay with that. It looks good. I'm happy with that. All right. Actually, it looks like we need to add another concrete piece there. Right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, so I am really happy with how well this is turning out so far. I am honestly learning a lot on buildings and how to make them look reasonable and not look absolutely ridiculous. So thank you very much for bearing with me, the people that are watching. I'm actually going to be logging off here. I need to grab something to eat for lunch, and because right now it is almost 12:20, and there's a Forza live stream happening at 1 o'clock Eastern time here that I don't want to miss. That we'll see how it goes. I don't think I'm doing anything else after lunch streaming wise. I might be back on with Forza still. We'll see. That's still up in the air. But yeah. So thanks for watching. I'll be back on tomorrow morning. I'll be back on tomorrow with more Planet Coaster, trying to finish this guy up. I mean, I say he's trying to finish this guy up. I'll probably just be adding more buildings and more unnecessary detail. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a really good blueprint. I'm really hoping. I'm really pleased with how this is turning out. So again, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.